We moms have been through a lot through the decades.
What the happened to us?
She used to be super lenient and children still survived. But now there's nothing a mom can do right. And there's a million ways to do it, but we don't know which one to pick.
Let's just reverse. We're gonna go break it down to what was to what's now. See, the 50s moms, they didn't have to worry about every time they left something out of the house that was considered dangerous.
There was no kid-proofing back then. You know what they got their kids to do? To use their common sense.
Oh, what's that?
You didn't need any special attachment to prevent the kids from turning on the oven because they knew the oven was hot and it would burn them. If you needed something from the store, guess who you could send for it?
Your kids. And guess what? They came home. They also knew not to put their fingers into electrical sockets. Somehow, those children figured out that what happened.
Where did that common sense go?
Oh, you know those 60 moms? They were allowed to not only discipline their own children, they were also allowed to discipline that child who was running amok out on the street.
It was also an expectation that you would help take care of all of the children, not just your own.
Because they actually played out in the community. Do you know what a community is? Johnny might be gone for 3 hours, but you know what? You knew that the other people had Johnny's back.
Yep.
You weren't concerned about it. There was no red flares going off if you hadn't seen your kid in 2 minutes.
Then there was the 70s mom.
Girl, you coming over for a cocktail at 3 o'clock? The 70s moms considered getting together not for judgment purposes, but for fun.
Nobody was judging how many martinis you had.
And when your children brought home Popeye cigarette, you weren't concerned about whether or not it was going to cause long-term damage.
And in the playgrounds, they were made with that death trap, hot metal.
Yeah, and I bet with concrete on the bottom. You know, the 80s moms.
There was no more like French cooking and casseroles. Now it was prepared foods.
Food that expired in like 20 years.
Perfect.
Feed the kids and move on.
Hamburger helper. It's got carbs, it's got protein, and I'm sure that it's got some tomato sauce, which is like vegetable.
You know those older kids you have in your house?
They were free babysitters.
It was an expectation that they actually helped.
They ate their sandwiches back then. You know why? Because they were on white bread.
90s moms, yo.
You had a cool mom when everybody in the cafeteria was looking over at your lunch because you had all the goodies.
It was not taken away from you at that when you were in the 90s. It was like, oh.
I actually used to think the kids with those lunches, I'll be honest, I thought they were rich.
Do I have to make
Yeah.
It's the 2000 moms now. You know what? Shit, why do we make it so hard on ourselves? What the f happened? What is organic couscous? What is non-organic couscous? What the f is coconut oil?
What the f is ghee?
Girl!
It's called butter.
Imagine all moms everywhere just united and was like, dude, we're
quit it.
stopping. Let's open the doors back up. Let's talk to each other like people. Sit on the front step with a glass of wine and not look at each other and judge each other like there's some big deal going on. I'm not sure why moms need to get all kook-a-doodle-doo all of a sudden. Never has there been such high expectations on moms. Never has there been so much judgment on moms. And never have we felt so anxious and unconfident in ourselves as moms. We all just gonna back it.
We're gonna back it up. Relax. Just relax a little bit.
Happy Mom Truth Friday. Back it up.
Back it up.
We're just gonna back it up.